Well, quite a crowd here this morning. This might be a spectacular sunrise. I'm not sure, but nevertheless, let's get on topic. Good morning, Dr. Jason W. Morrison, theologist, New South Wales, Australia, and welcome and thank you for joining me. I've got 2 days to go here in Sanur, Bali, Indonesia, and I want to talk about this morning the Jehovah Witness-ism and any other religion for that matter, and theological abuse. Now, theological abuse is one of these matters that's not heard of. Have you ever heard of theological abuse? Have you ever heard of anybody being in trouble for being theologically abusive? Theological abuse is something that's swept under the carpet because Christianity and overcast morning this morning, Don. We'll see what the sunrise has to bring for us. I'll put this scenery. Let's just see what happens with the silhouette out there. But theological abuse is something that has been swept under the carpet for millenniums. Just in recent times, sexual abuse and the governments and the authorities have had enough of evil inside church organisations, and they're starting to demand compensation through laws and other wonderful avenues. It's trying to bring religion into line because, honestly, religion's so far out of line now with its tax-free incomes and the millions that they've made and misused, and the sexual misconduct and the child abuse. And it's not just in Jehovah Witness-ism, it's right across the platform of Christianity. It's terrible. And all these abuses, but the big one that's causing abuses in Christian organisations is theological abuse. I recall the early Catholic Church would sell indulgences. Yeah, well, it probably hasn't changed. The selling of things in, look, we don't need to go over and over all the things that we're seeing now through the media on the rip-offs of these churches. They just had a big one in Australia called Sea Free Church, run by a gentleman. I won't say his name just in case YouTube don't like it, but $44 million a year they make tax-free. $44 million a year. The second wealthiest Pentecostal church in Australia, second to Hillsong, of course, which is on $105 million a year. There's Hazy. Good morning, Hazy. I hope you enjoy this sunrise from Sanur. Just while you're there, Hazy, I think I need to try and do an input for Kim and Mikey when I get home, because I don't think my transfer on the Fund Me for Kim and Mikey went through. So when I get back to Australia, I'll put it through. And that was so thoughtful of you to do that for them. God, they do a good job, don't they? But theological abuse is something that's so far swept under the carpet. People are angry now and upset, and they want something done about it. Unfortunately, and specifically in the case of the Jehovah Witnesses, but not exclusive to, people are starting to do things about it in great numbers. Lots of Kim and Mikey options ongoing. Yeah. Okay, no probs there. But I think for the ex-Jehovah Witness community, which is the strongest as far as I'm concerned, I hope you realise the ex-Jehovah Witness community is the strongest activist community against an organisation in the world. I want to say that again. The ex-Jehovah Witness community, activism community, is the strongest and biggest activism community against a religious organisation in the world. I don't think even you ex-Jehovah Witnesses realise that. So I'm just going to say it again. The ex-Jehovah Witness activism community is the strongest activism community against a religious organisation in the world. Now, somebody might want to do a video on that. I don't know. I don't think they realise. Ex-Mormons have been helping us a lot, but they're a bigger religion. Well, they might be a bigger religion, but they haven't got the activism that the ex-Jehovah Witnesses have got, I don't believe, Hazy, because you won't find half the stuff against the Mormons is what you do with the in the ex-Jehovah Witness thing. Like, it's only the power of the Watchtower Society, the financial ability as a business conglomerate that's keeping them above water, because there's no integrity in the organisation at all. The whole thing's built on theological abuse. As soon as a theology has lies to the extent of that organisation, then the whole thing. Look, if you took it to court and there was professional scholars and theologians and they were up against it about their theology, then they wouldn't have a leg to stand on, because that's what happened in Russia. Their beliefs weren't strong enough to keep them in the country. Russia just went, no, we're not having this. These people are off their rocker. They're abusive, and they've gone, no, you're out. That's it. The finish. You're gone. Done. And other countries are following suit because they've had enough. They've had enough of the lies and the nonsense and the harm that it causes, because it causes lifelong trauma. Lifelong trauma. It's the cruelty of the org, the abuses that drives the comeback. Hang on, the abuses, where'd that go? Oh no, yeah, the abuses. Oh gee, this is hard on the mobile phone. Sorry, Hazy. Yeah, but see, the abuse in the org comes in so many forms. If you're following an organisation that encourages lies at its core, lifelong hurts are common. Yeah, but there's something you try to avoid, and there's something that, yeah, lifelong hurts. We've all got them. I haven't got mine from the JWs. I got mine from a Christian organisation. But when you have an organisation, don't expect a response to every comment. No, I don't. It gets a bit hard for me to keep my train of thought. Oh, I get you, Hazy. Yeah. When an organisation like the Jehovah Witnesses is so blatantly founded on lies, then the result's predictable, isn't it? And we've seen that. We've seen this in every aspect and respect, from shunning to sexual abuse, which is all built on and branches of the theological abuse within the organisation. Let me tell you that the pinnacle of the abuse in that organisation is trying to drive Jehovah as the central point of their faith rather than the Lord Jesus Christ. That's warning signs straight away. When any religion puts the Lord Jesus Christ in the back burner, then you run. And that's what the Jehovah Witnesses do, and they're experts at their lies. They'll sit there and tell you they're 100% right, and it's all a pack of lies. So that's how theological abuse works. It works on lies, and it works on deception, and look, it's basically demonic, but it's so cleverly done. So I don't want to speak too long this morning, because it's been a long week, and I think I've had plenty to say just about on everything. That's why I was never really a good pastor, because after the first year I think I'd had everything I was ever going to say, and I thought everybody needed to just go home and get on with their lives. But most of these churches won't let you do that, or in some cases they're good social groups for people. But if you haven't got the idea of it in 3.5 years of what Christianity's about, yeah, thanks, Hazy. You too, whatever the time is where you are. If you haven't got the gist of it within 3.5 years, then I don't know. I don't know what the church should be doing. So just remember, there's nothing you need to do or not do to make God happy or stop him from being sad, which is the truth. And the lie is that there is something you need to do or not do to make God happy or stop him from being sad, which is undermining the finished work of the Lord Jesus Christ. It's that simple. In the finished work of Christ, the New Testament, the truth is there's nothing you need to do or not do to make God happy or stop him from being sad. And the lie is there's something that you do need to do or not do to make God happy or stop him from being sad. Yep, I'm going to join you, Hazy. I have things I need to do today. And God bless you all. And this is Pro One Theologist, Dr. Jason W. Morrison, Sanua, Bali, Indonesia. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. And bye for now.